Hey guys, just want to drop a little video on the Champions League recap from this week regarding the English sides. So what did we get? We got 2 wins, a draw and a loss. I think you could maybe say more about it. 2 big wins, 1 big loss and a draw. Which, given how the English have underperformed last year, it's alright. Tuesday, Arsenal versus Napoli. Now, for me, Napoli are one of the dark horses to win the Champions League. To see what Arsenal done to them, that's quite a statement. They're looking very good. As I said previously, they're one striker away from being the real deal. One 20, 30, 40 million pound striker away from having a hell of a squad that can compete both in Europe and in the league. Chelsea, they were away to Steaua Bucharest, the weakest team in the group. After the loss to Basel, they really needed a win. They got the win, as expected. I would think Steaua probably, they probably lose all 3 away games. Maybe they get a point at home to Basel or Schalke, but realistically, you're looking at the head-to-heads in the other 3 matches between the other 3 teams. So the next 2 matches for Chelsea are key. Home and away to Schalke. I think you gotta think they gotta get 4 points from there. A win at home, a draw away. I personally think they could get all 6. In terms of the squad and in terms of the experience, they're ahead of Schalke. This is a pretty simple group, and yeah, they'll be fine. Wednesday, Bayern Munich. Wow. I mean, what can you say? They ripped Man City apart. I mean, it was a bit depressing as a Premier League fan. I mean, Man City, currently the best squad the Premier League has to offer, and they did nothing against Bayern Munich. They could not handle them. Pep Guardiola, fair play to him. He's got Bayern Munich playing the Pep Guardiola way. I mean, Bayern Munich were pretty awesome last year, but this year, I mean, oof, have they gone up a bit? Probably. I mean, they've got better players now, which seems amazing to think. So, for City, Joe Hart. I mean, these things happen. I think he's struggled because he's got no one behind him, in the sense he's a sure first team place. I mean, I think Pantilemon's the second choice. Realistically, Man City aren't going to drop Joe Hart for Pantilimon. England aren't going to drop Joe Hart for a Celtic goalkeeper in Foster, or I think a Norwich keeper in Ruddy. It's just not going to happen. Joe Hart's way too comfortable. He's too complacent. You could argue all 3 goals last night he could have done better with. But in terms of Champions League qualification, they're alright. Head-to-head against CSKA Moscow, the next 2 matches, that is the key. Again, 4 points from those 2 matches should be enough for qualification. They'll lose away to Bayern Munich, but then Bayern Munich will win all 6 matches, so that's okay. And then Man United, I thought they did well. I'm not a fan of United, but they started off well. In the first half, they got a goal. Second half, Shakhtar obviously going to come into it a bit more as the home team. No English side has ever won in Shakhtar. I mean, I was quite shocked by that. But yeah, it's a tough group. They're in a tough group. When I looked at that group, I thought, you've got 4 fairly even sides there. So 4 points from the first 2 games, fine. Real Sociedad next. I mean, I know they've got 0 points, but they're not the whipping boys of the group. They'll do well. So again, there's still work to do for United if they want to qualify. Of the 4 teams, they are definitely, for me anyway, still the least likely to qualify. Having said that, I think they should be fine now. Just quickly, about the performance of Fellaini. He looked out of his depth yesterday. It was embarrassing.